See, in the last session, we have discussed about multi-threading, thread, and how we can able to create the thread. There are the two ways for creating the thread. One is by extending the thread class, and the other one is by implementing the runnable interface. Those are the two ways we have for creating a thread, and we have discussed all these methods. See here, two ways for creating a thread. One is by extending thread class, and other one is by implementing runnable interface. See here, first by extending thread class, this is a thread class. From the thread class, we are deriving our class. In that, we are writing the run method. See, whenever we are creating this thread object with the help of start method, we are going to be start. I'm not going to be called the run method. Whenever I'm starting the thread, automatically this run method is going to be called for execution. Automatically this run method is going to be called for execution. So if it is the other one, runnable interface, see, from interface, if I'm deriving a class, we are going to be use the keyword called as implements. We are going to be use the keyword called as implements. So public void run, this is a method which is unimplemented method we have in the runnable interface. When we are implementing this runnable interface here in multi-threading, so then automatically the run method will be called for execution. See, the way how to create the thread when we are using the runnable interface is this. So again, here we are going to be use the start method for calling the uh, which will makes the thread execution. Will do that. See, there are some more methods here. Run is which is used to perform action for the thread. Start is a method which is used for starting the execution of the thread. Sleep, which will makes the delay of the thread execution for some specified number of milliseconds. For the sleep method, we are going to be provide the argument as milliseconds. See, that many number of milliseconds it is going to be get delay. Join is a method which is used for waiting the thread to die. Get priority. What is the priority of the thread it is going to be get? So as we discussed in the previous session, thread will be different. Thread priority will be different, which will be from 0 to 10. Minimum priority is 0. Highest priority, that is max priority, is 10. So set priority, which is used for changing the priority of the thread. By default, for every thread it is creating, will be having the normal priority, that is 5. Normal priority as 5. And next we have get name. Whatever it may be the thread we are creating, there will be default name for the thread. That is thread 0, thread 1, thread 2, like that. It will create the default name. Other than that, if I want to give the specific name for the thread, by using the set name, we can able to give the name. If you want to know what is the current thread it is executing, reference returns the reference of currently executing thread. Get ID, which is used for returns the ID of the thread, which is used to return the ID of the thread. Suspend, which is used to suspend the thread, which will makes to stops the execution of the thread until we are going to be resume the thread. If it is a resume, we are going to be resume back whatever the suspended thread execution process. Next, stop in essence, we are going to be stop the thread completely. We'll see all these things. See, whenever I'm executing this particular thread, it is executing. What if other method other than the run, if we have here, what will happen? So you might have a doubt. See here, suppose see, it is, we are not calling that particular method for execution. We are not calling that particular method for execution. So it is not going to be called for execution. What if I'm writing this display method here, it's calling for execution. See, whenever we are giving the start method, automatically the thread is going to be starts its execution. So whatever it may be, the run method we have, it is going to be start for execution. Got it? Whatever may be, extending thread class or runnable interface, whatever may be, it is going to be works same. It is going to be work same. Okay. Now, after creating the thread, I want to get the name of the thread. Let me consider here. I want to get the name of the thread after starting the thread. After starting the thread, see here, name of the thread. Name of the thread T1. T1 dot get. T1 dot get name. What is the ID of the thread? ID of the thread T1. So T1 dot get ID. And what is the priority of the thread? Priority of the. I didn't give any name or I didn't give any ID. I didn't give any priority for the thread. Just I have created the thread. Just I have created the thread. Once after creating the thread, it is going to be have all these things default. Priority of the thread T1. Priority. We'll see all these things. See, ID of the thread T1 is 13. Name of the thread is thread 0. Priority of the thread T1 is 5. After executing all these things, we are going to be get the thread is running. The thread is running. The method is going to be called for execution. Okay. See, I didn't give the thread name. I didn't give the thread name. Here we are getting thread 0. ID of the thread T1 is 13 we are getting. Priority of the thread T1 is 5. That is a normal priority. That is normal priority. is a normal priority. There is no synchronization. See here, there is no synchronization. So previously the thread is running. We have at the end, after printing the name of the thread, ID of the thread, priority of the thread. Now if you see, it is in the middle. So again at last, there is no synchronization. There is no synchronization. See, with the help of start method, we are starting the execution of the thread. With the help of thread method, we are starting the execution of thread method. Now we are going to be use the start method, right? Once after starting the thread, if I try to start it, it will not allow. We are getting the error. We are getting the error. That is illegal thread state exception. Illegal thread state exception. Once if we start the thread, again we should not start. It is already started. We start the same thread again, will again raises exception. It is going to be raise the exception. Most important question for interview. Thread once started execution, again it cannot be started. It will give, if we do, will raise exception. Okay. See, multi-thread, how we can able to call it. We'll see that example. extends thread. See here, public void run thread 1 running. What is the thread 1 is running. Now I'll create one more thread. I'll create one more thread. Let me take this as empty day2. Both the threads are executing simultaneously now. Thread 1 running, thread 1 running. See, both the threads are executing now. See, both the threads are executing. Multiple threads. Example of multi-threading. So here I have created two threads. Here I have created two threads, and the two threads are executing. Okay. See, I'll show you the difference how it is going to be executed. Let me take. A value I'll be giving here. Okay. See, thread is running I value 1. Thread is running I value 2. Thread is running I value 3. Thread is running I value 4. And the thread is running I value 5. We are going to be get. So when I am going to start this two threads simultaneously, multi-threading, more than one thread is executing simultaneously. See here, these are first one thread. This is one thread. Okay. And this is, let me consider this is a belongs to the same thread, and this is the second thread, and this is a second thread, and this is a, so there is no synchronization. See, it is mixing of all the things. It is mixing of all the things, both the threads. So we cannot able to see which thread is executing. So if we are doing a multiple task, we'll be getting like this only. See, some process it might be get delay, and some process it is going to be get working. Multi-threading. More than one thread is executing simultaneously. More than one thread is executing simultaneously. That is this. multiple threads. It is executing multiple threads. It is executing multiple threads. There is no synchronization. We'll discuss about the synchronization. In the coming sessions, we are going to be discuss about the synchronization. Okay.